I'm working on a project, and I would love for you to join me.
Welcome back, guys. This one, it's funny to me the way that intro is every single time. But okay, so this one's gonna be a little different. This is the last making Magus like this, and the last one for the year. And the next year it'll be redesigned, but it'll probably still be once a month, and so that I'm not wasting too much time, probably just gonna get right into it. This is the part of well, I'm not technically working on a shot for the series right now. What I'm working on at the moment is a part of the intro. People may have seen the rough draft of it online. You know, I don't know. I posted it, but I don't think I posted the entirety, the whole thing. Anyway, this is the part I'm on right now. This is what I've done so far, or at least what I've done in the past few days or whatever. Just this beginning part. If you see here, there are like elements and stuff that I was gonna do them on the same layer like I did for the roughs, but I decided a different way to do them. So I'm gonna try that, and it requires a separate layer. The problem that I'm having with this, which I would have hoped would have been done yesterday when I was working on it, so I could start on the elements, but I still have that much to go, and I'm just here, you know. So it's kind of this one's taking a long time, and the crazy part is the finished product, since I've already seen it with the roughs, it's only like 17 seconds. Like, it's not even that long, but because of a comment I got, it made me put more effort into animating, and it looks better, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just, the reason I was cutting corners was for time's sake, and because, you know, there's no team, it was just me. So when there's only one person and you're trying to get a product that is massive, to say the least, you kind of need to, I mean, you don't need to, but it's up to you if you're gonna cut corners. However, this person's comment, it stuck with me, still does, even though many people told me not to feed on it or anything, but it's just, I mean, I agree to a degree. There's definitely better ways to go about making your comment. I won't repeat the comment because I don't want it bring that type of energy into my product, but even still, you know, it just kind of, I'm using it as motivation. That's exactly what purpose it served. That does not mean that is the way to motivate people. Everybody didn't, like, a lot of people actually don't respond the same way. So if you can be nice to other people, by all means, choose that route. I just chose to dwell on it and use it as an advantage. Like most people should try to do with negative comments. Yes, it was a negative comment, if I didn't point that out. Let's see. So basically, the rough draft was just the person's body, just an amoeba type of not amoeba because it's not liquidy, but it's just no details, no clothing or anything like that. Just kind of where I want things to be, like this here. Thought I'd change my color for a second. But now I have to put the clothes on the person. He doesn't have a face. There was a reason for that initially, but now it's more for time's sake. Well, no, it's still a reason for it. It's like a metaphor type of thing, but it's just there will be no face. Is basically all I'm saying. So I need to go back and see something. Okay, so okay. Basically, this is what I've been doing for the past few weeks. That's why it hasn't been any like short videos or anything like that. I've tried to post things here and there, but for the most part, it's just this. And the thing is, it's crazy because most of the time, what I would do is I would just like copy the previous frame to save time on this, but because of the way I did the roughs, and in order to get that same movement, majority of what I'm doing, I can't really like just copy and paste it, so I'm like drawing each frame over and over again. And not gonna lie, it is time consuming, and I'm doing it as fast as I can, mostly because I've been on this for like a really long time. Long time in my opinion. Kind of standard for animation, but I'm kind of over it, so I'm just trying to get on to the next part. And you know, it's weird and it's really hard for me to like stop myself from doing it, but there's not like I'm so close on the picture that I can see all these details, but this is the size of the image. This is how close the person is. You can't even see this stuff that I'm working on, so I really shouldn't be putting that much effort into it, especially since the frames, at least here mostly, they're really close to each other, which means it's only going to be on the screen for a brief moment. But here I am, going above and beyond for something that won't even be noticed. Let's see, just trying to keep continuity a little bit. This was kind of the biggest reason I made the uniform so simple, so that it could be replicated a bunch of times without stressing me out. I think I got it. Okay, so nope, whole arm missing. New updates. Do we have any new updates? Sort of, but I don't know if they're new. I guess that's cool. Oh wait. Wow. Just realized how stupid or how pointless that was. Anyway, New updates. Maybe we don't have any new ones. Just if I can think of them before this hour is up, then yeah, I'll mention them. But I feel like maybe we don't have any. Wow. What is up with this bar? I see. It's supposed to be okay. It's not as detailed. Doing way too much. It's so hard to like cut down on time too for something like this. I see it a lot in other people's videos and stuff that they, and I totally understand why they do it, but I see them speed videos up, like the simplest things, well, not the simplest thing, the more detail oriented things, they speed them up. And while that's good to help keep the attention of the people, because people don't really got patience anymore, it does a disservice to the animation industry, I guess, because a lot of people think because they're like a video that they've seen is so fast, that's how quick animation is, and then they devalue your work. They're like, oh well, I've seen you knock out an animation in a brief second. You can afford to have it be cheap. You know what I mean? Like, so for freelancers, I feel like maybe they shouldn't. But I mean, I get it, because you can't hold anybody's attention with the long form video. I know, trust me, I know. I've seen my analytics. Which is why my format will be changing. Not for the sake of, like, so my thing is, for the channel, it's important for the channel, and I'm just going to be completely open with everybody. It's important for the channel. Just realized he had girly legs on this frame. Get curvy legs, I should say. On this frame at least. But yeah, it's important for the channel that, the content be not necessarily entertaining. I know I'm pretty sure everybody would prefer it to be entertaining, which is why I'm doing all the other stuff next year, to be, to make things more interesting. Because I already know, dang, I just drew that for nothing. I already know, well, maybe not, I'll just do this. I already know the channel is, not the channel, the content is better suited for people who actually are into animation. Not, well, okay, it's better suited for people who are into the operations of animation. It's not particularly entertaining for people who just want to watch them, and I totally understand that. So I am working on putting some stuff together for everybody. I just have to make sure that everything doesn't, I have to make sure the new stuff doesn't take up more time than it should, because the series will never come out if I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. So there will be, I think I mentioned this in the other video, there'll be more shorts, more YouTube shorts. There will be, eventually, once I get all, like, I have to draw some more pictures for like banners and stuff, and those will be on the website. So once I get those done, there'll be a website. It'll have some info so that you can kind of not just keep up with stuff before Magus episode comes out, but it'll have info about some stuff that is way down the pipeline, that I'm kind of excited for. And I think once the series comes out, a lot of other people will be excited for it too. But until then, you know, it's just words. So I'm working on trying to make them a reality and less of just words. So in order to make that happen more fluidly, I ask that you, if you're not already, subscribe. Because I mentioned, the sooner I can monetize the channel, the sooner I can stop worrying about other stuff and focus more on this. I can also hire people, which will get things done a lot faster. Which is like kind of the ultimate goal. It's not particularly to line my pockets. I personally just want the series to be made. There are so many other things I want to do with it, and the series the first season has to be done in order to, you know, get the point across of like the possibilities of the series. I mean, gotta get the product out first. Let them see. But yeah, so this part here, oh wait, before I start the next frame, some more jump that you can't even see at regular size. Boom, boom. Okay, so I had a feeling I shouldn't have made it as long as I did, but I had to make it this long, not just because it's an intro, you know, but also because lopsided head, like Roger from American Dad. But I had to make it. No, what was I saying? I had to make the intro the length that it is, which is still not long, 17 seconds, but it needs to be done for the sake of being reused. Like, some shots are really super short. They don't take that long, and then, you know, you don't worry about them anymore. This one, more detail because it's going to be used more. Not necessarily more detail. It's try to keep it along the same level of the artwork I intend to have for like the action scenes. So I guess this is kind of a glimpse of what to expect. Probably more detailed though. Still getting the hang of it, but what I plan to have is like better camera movements. Am I doing that? Better camera movements with the action. Like, I've been studying some stuff, so I think they'll be better, because the ones, like, I was studying things while I was doing this, and I'm like, dang, I missed out on that opportunity. I could have made it look like this. And even with that information, I feel like this would have been even better. But, you know, I'm not going back. So we get this one, and then if there's a season 2, we'll do a new intro. So that means you guys need to subscribe if you're not already, because I intend to have a season 2. I already have the information written down of how I want it to be. It's not written yet, but this season is not written yet. But the premise of the season is the new villain or recurring. Giving those spoilers away, we don't know what's happening, especially since it's not written yet. But there will be interesting stuff in it, I can tell you that. Let's see. That might not be it. I'm just remove that for now. Something like that. Sorry for the silence. I'm like really trying to like go as fast as I possibly can. So like I showed you all of the frames I need to do. Next frame. When I was doing this originally, there was no zoom in here, but I felt like because of that frame, like this frame here, the shot was just too static. I had to adjust it. So this next shot, if you can see the frame up under the next frame, the next shot, I mean, larger than the previous. That was the beginning of it, because I mean, I had to do I prefer a manual action type of zoom, even though it's more work, more satisfying when you see it afterwards. doing this part here, something like that. I don't know, it's a little weird, but I feel like I probably breezed through it really quick because it was the roughs, and I was like, you know what, it doesn't really matter what it looks like because I gotta go over it again anyway. And sure enough, there we have it. Boom. Looks alright though, for something that was quickly thrown together. It's throwing me for a little bit, I'm sorry, whatever. That worked out. Cool. We'll do that, something like that. It's not important. Like I said, it's only gonna be on screen for like a half a second, so don't even, unless you're scrubbing through as a reviewer, then it's kind of irrelevant. So yeah, turns out quiet is fine. I think we'll see. If you're just into it, like, it helps to just watch. No problem with that. I have no idea how I'm able to do that. It's not like I had a ton of practice with like being able to do feet like that, like in one pass or two, you know, in some cases. I don't struggle with the outline of a foot, is what I'm saying. A lot of people do, and if I had any recommendations on what you could possibly do to fix it, I can't even say study feet. I don't even study feet. Like, I look at other characters' art. That's helpful, I guess. And I recommend you do the same. Not sure why this leg here. So proportions are not my strong suit, I can tell you that. Struggle with proportions. They're much better than they used to be though, but they are still not good. I mean, good enough. Good enough for you to see what I was going for. That's all I need you to know. Let's see. I'm not putting too much detail into that. Let me just move on. Alright, let's see. So that's gonna be there. I don't know if that makes a difference. Anyway, let's just move along. Next. Gotta kind of eyeball it a little bit to see what's happening. Okay. It's not too bad. Oh my god, it's turning. Super quiet episode, guys. There's not much to say. I'm working on this. Once I get done, I can get back to the series, but I felt like I had to do this because it was long overdue. It should have been done probably early on. What I had planned, and still might later, we'll see, I was planning on, anyway, I was planning on doing the series completely, and then for the intro, which is what this is part of, I was going to use clips from the actual series. However, the reason why I'm doing this, which could then be changed later, is because I wanted something like, I don't know, I wanted something to stand out, like the intro that I have for the first episode, which I'm debating. I probably won't use this for the first episode. I want the first episode to remain as it is, which is I've mentioned underwhelming, I guess is the word. And I wanted to stay that way, kind of selfishly about it, but I don't, it doesn't matter. I want the first episode to stay the way it is, simply because sorry, I get distracted really easy while I'm trying to like focus on two different things, but simply because it's not as good as I had hoped. But from episode 1 all the way to, I think it's 10. I don't know if it's 10 or 12 because I can't remember what I settled on. But from episode 1 all the way to the last episode of the season, I want the progress of creating this to be noticeable. It is weird. Okay. Like I think I did just rush on that one because this one don't make any sense. I mean, it make a little bit of sense, but it is off. But anyway, yeah, I want all the flaws noticeable, like, and I mean, like I'm saying in most of these videos, I'm like, just, you know, stick with the episode, so you don't just watch the first one and be like, nah, I ain't watching this, it look like trash. Trust me, I'm the first one to say that it looked like trash. Why? That's why. my tab mate switched over to a different settings. I'm like, why can't I move this line? I think that's going to be closer to the front, so let's move that. Something like that, and then we just scoot this in like that. And then for this one, it's going to drape over his leg. So did I shrink the pen? I feel like I shrunk the pen down. I did. What the heck? Alright, it's back to normal now. I actually tried to learn how to draw with that pen, that extra thin one. It's very hard for me. As you can see, I draw like super close up into the picture, but when I did try to use it, it didn't work out. It didn't work out because the lines are so thin that me drawing this close, they look fine, but then when I back out to the actual size, like here, like you can see it on this one. Okay, so this line right here, this is like the thickness of that pen that I had. And because it's that thin, when you back out to the regular size, you can't see it. So it also doesn't register completely with the paint bucket, which means I have to keep going back and filling the lines anyway, which is tedious and unnecessary if you just draw with a thicker brush. So started using the thicker brush. So I use 7. That's about, I think that's as thick as 7 goes. So this is me holding back my finger strength. And eventually over time it'll get thinner. I'll try to make it thinner. Or maybe I'll change it up for another project. I do have other projects that I would like to get to. And they will require a different look, hopefully. So when I finally get to those, I guess we could talk about those. Those are projects in the works, I guess. There is, I can't talk about that particular one because that still involves Magus, but there's a plan for, I don't want to tell about that one yet because we need to lock some stuff in before I try to pull that one. Alright, so let's see what can we talk about. There's a movie plan that I have for it's gonna be animated. Well, this is Knuckle, I think. Maybe. I don't know if this is Knuckle. It seems too big to be a Knuckle. Considered left out now, so anyway, I intend to do a animated movie for one of my scripts, not Magus world related. So that's good, I guess. It'll be a nice change of pace is what I'm saying. thinking. Yeah, that's about right. That's what that line is. Okay, now it makes sense now. It's the white part to his uniform. The part that goes on his ribs. It wraps around to both ribs. So I was completely lost with that. So the movie. I'm trying to think, because there's a couple movies scripts that I have, and I don't know which one to do first, but I have an idea of which one I want to do first. Mostly because it's easier, but I don't want to start it while I'm still working on this, because this is a huge project. However, I may do it just to have content coming out and products. Problem is, since it's not Magus related, it probably won't be on the channel. Not this channel. I think I'll try to do another channel. I had another channel. I actually still do. It's not completely lost. It's just inactive. And it's kind of dedicated to like movies, like in general. That is neat. Yeah, put that on there. And maybe I could resurrect that channel up a little bit, do some stuff. I don't want to have to work to. Nobody wants to work, but I don't want to have to do like a ton of heavy lifting as far as like making that channel bigger. So what I'll do is I'll bank that channel's success on this channel. If you guys like what you see here, and you're willing to give that channel a shot, I will give you the link and all that stuff. I'll work on the channel, set it up, and then the what's the name of it? The Luminary X series, which you can check out the one little short film that's on this channel. That whole thing would be over there as well. It's not going up until it gets some likes and views and stuff. So until people actually care about it, I'm not gonna put a bunch of effort into it. But know that there's a whole universe for that character as well. And her story depends on you. That's actually, that's interesting to mention that, to say that. That is actually what I was going to do when I started animating that short film. That was going to be a interactive story. So if anybody else could pull that off, feel free to steal that idea. But it was going to be an interactive story for a character, and then as I drew the character, I was like, she looks exactly like this character from the series that I like, how I envisioned her. It's like, I think I'm just gonna do that character. I'm just gonna redo this story. It is a remake. It's an animated version, not necessarily a remake, but it's what I envisioned the story to be when I pitched it to a friend of mine. Except what I did was pretty rough animations compared to how I wanted it to turn out. So had I put more effort into it, it would look better. Problem is, I was doing that for Facebook Reels, so I couldn't put a ton of effort into it because it would take too long. And as you know, if you post Reels, they want you to be posting every single day or close to it regularly. Otherwise, your stuff doesn't get shown to anybody. So I was kind of just putting stuff together as fast as possible, as opposed to putting effort. I get the formula. I don't like it particularly, but I get it. So I think that works. So yeah, the actual effort put into it type of view for that Nova short film that I did, it would look better than that. I did not put any full effort into it, because if I did, then I'd still be working on it. Like, it'd be taking as long as this. Well, I might still be working on it. I don't know. I think if I wasn't doing this and I put that same effort, I think it would have. I think I'd be done with it, because it's a shorter video, so definitely requires less. I don't know. Like, I've done let's see, 5 pictures in an hour, almost 5. Too far. Oh, it's not actually a full hour yet. It's like 45 minutes. But my point still being the same. Like, if I were to put that the same effort, I don't know if I like that at all. Then I think, I'm trying to get out of this here. There it is. Yeah, good enough. Just nip that off of there. But yeah, I think if I would have put that same effort that I put into this series into the Nova short film, I think it would have done better. I mean, it still could. I'm a pretty small channel, so as I look at other people's channels who've grown over time, their older content gets looked at once the channel blows up. So I'm not really worried about what happens with it. That should be over here. Just a little. I just found it a little interesting as well. That the like how people's channels grow. I don't know what I'm saying, like, not even paying attention to what I'm saying right now. Alright. It's crazy because all the roughs, like, I went through all the different rough images, drawing detailed, more detail than I feel like they necessarily need, especially now knowing that I'm not using a lot of it. But it does help as far as guiding goes, so I guess it was worth it, sort of. Wait, I forgot something. Let's see here. Boom. I don't know, it's so much harder to get that line to match the curvature of his back than you would think. But that's my fault for dwelling on it too much, because it's not even like this one frame. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, these two frames are the same. It was just expanded. So let me save myself quite a bit of time. Just line that up. There it is, roughly, and then we go to the next one. Okay. It's crazy, but I really like how a lot of these angles turned out. I guess you should like what you do, but it just be hard sometimes. Like, you know what you wanted it to look like, but it ends up looking completely different. That's often the case. Let's see if I can connect these a little bit better. Just one shot that then, huh? Curve it up. This might be the last one for the hour. Pretty short one, guys. At least it felt short to me. So next year, be on the lookout for I guess you could say minor change. In the way that the Make and Magus series is. Again, they're technically, like I said, they're technically for me to look back on the stuff I've done so that I can make adjustments and change stuff. But with those being kind of the, I don't want to say the only, it's not the only content on the channel. I feel like if you're not interested in the making of process, then you won't care as much about the video. So I understand that, and that is exactly why I'm going to try to put more content not necessarily related to the creation of the series, but it will be related to the series itself. Got some ideas, so it's not like jumping into it blind. I just gotta make sure I don't get distracted by other stuff, and should come out alright. Kind of crazy how much faster. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. I will drape it across the floor. So a lot of this stuff, if you hadn't noticed, I come up with on the spot, like, like this particular part here. Let's see, hit here. The lines are really thick this time around. I mean, not really thick, but I'm pressing a little harder than I usually would. I hate this dip, man. This is the part that get me every single time. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the left, so I guess I could put like some, I don't know how to, something like that maybe, just to indicate that the book is there. It don't necessarily be highly detailed. Alright, closing in on the end. Would it be curving that way or would it be curving the other way? Dang. I think it'll be like that. It's off to me a little bit, but both was off, so I'm just gonna go with the least. Whatever. Looking at it over and over again for something again that will not be on the screen for that long. Let me look at this though. Yeah, it's not visible. Cool. Okay. Also not visible, so let's not worry about it. I think we're good. Okay, so with that, so I'm gonna test it out a little bit. I'm gonna try. I don't know how to do it with this one, but as far as speeding up the video yet still having the audio kind of match, it's not possible. So that's the reason why the videos are filmed the way they are. The new format is going to be no talking, probably no video of me because there's no reason for me to be on the camera, but it will be music and sped up and maybe some texts. That's more editing, to be honest, more editing than I prefer to do, but it's more appealing, I guess. Cut the time down, gets hopefully more views. We'll see how that work out, but that starts next year. This is the final Magus of December. I mean of 2022, and Merry Christmas, I guess. Happy New Year. I mean, it's gonna go up on the 1st, so I hope you guys have a good month and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one.